this is Rita from Iwouldcampthat. So, for a little bit of context, a little while ago, I was driving along trying to get to the city where my parents live, and I blindly trusted the GPS, and it put me on a dirt road, and that I was quite suspicious was not what I was supposed to be on, and sure enough, eventually, I ran out of cell service, and I figured this ain't it. But it looked very intriguing, just not for my little car. So here we are, in the actual rig with Dustin at the wheel, and we're having a proper explore up here in northern Alberta.
Yeah, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Thing I love about northern Alberta, there's all these random roads. Sometimes you drive by them commuting to work or going from one town to another, but you don't really have the time to go look at them, and you always kind of make a note, and you're like, I wonder what's down there. Could be something, could be nothing.
I gotta say, folks, after a few months of not feeling well, this was exactly what I needed. Beautiful, dusty back roads with all these turnoffs just teeming with possibilities. Back road therapy at its finest. One thing I've grown to love, almost as much as camping itself, is just driving around on these back roads and sussing out potential future places to camp. Even if we don't find a place to camp, these roads are just so much fun to explore. Sometimes they're just a straight shot, other times you come to a fork in the road, and then you get excited because you're like, oh, there's options. I can go this way, I can go this way. That road looks a little sketch, but as long as I'm careful and I don't get stuck, I can go this way. This is what I live for. I absolutely love coming on these back roads that so many people just write off and avoid like the plague, and just seeing what's out there. Also, the GoPro Hero 10 has been an amazing addition to our adventures. Such a phenomenal camera. There's some great accessories for it for mounting it, whether you want to have it on your forehead like I'm doing right now, or have it on your wrist, or have it mounted to the top of your vehicle. There's so many different possibilities. I especially enjoy having it on my forehead when I'm driving. I love the dash cam, but sometimes it's really cool to get a view of what I'm seeing while I'm piloting our beloved rig down one of these beautiful back roads. One of my favorite parts of today was this big abandoned road that we found tucked in behind what appeared to be an abandoned truck stop, gravel storage area. I really wanted to stop and get some footage of that before we settled down for the night for camp, but with the weather threatening to go south, those clouds looking quite ominous, and not much light left in the day, we decided it was more important to make sure that we found a place to settle down and call home for the night.
Check out what I found. It's a wheel chock. So people can use this to either put underneath their wheel to make sure that they don't roll away, or in some cases they literally use this to hold down their gas or their brake pedal if that's the thing. So yeah, this place has been well loved. And I mean, there's a fire pit outside too, so. Yeah,
I deliberately stopped right by it. It's on my side of the truck. So we did bring firewood, but there's some pretty wicked clouds coming in. Might be getting some freezing rain overnight, so might not be the best night to be outside with a fire. We'll play it by ear, see how it goes. But for the time being, let's get set up for camp. And one of the lovely things about truck camping is pretty well everything's already set up. And we'll see what the night brings.
Actually, we don't have to worry about no fire and no hot food because
this is Rita coming prepared, as always.
Scout's motto. I bought a new giant thermos, theoretically for Dustin to have coffee or tea, but right now it's holding homemade chicken mushroom vegetable soup.
Oh, nice.
It still feels quite warm at the top, so I think we have hot soup.
You know, I've actually been meaning to get a thermos because, like, I have a tall thermos that I sometimes use for water, but it would be really hard to clean it out, so I never use it for anything but water. So to have something like a secondary one that we could actually use for stuff like soup, that would be fantastic.
Don't praise me quite yet. I'm not too sure how much chicken and mushroom is going to be stuck at the bottom when we're trying to drink out of this thing, so.
Well, hopefully I kept it nice and warm. I love this part of Alberta. If you are willing to go down some of those weird, sketchy roads, you will find some cool things, whether it's, you know, abandoned. We found like a lot of like oil silo areas, some in use, some abandoned. Land that, like, sometimes there's old equipment left over, sometimes there's nothing, it's all been cleaned up. But yeah, this is really cool. We've just got this area all to ourselves down this isolated road, and clearly someone's been here because there is a campfire. But like I said, we'll see how the weather goes. Those clouds are looking pretty nasty. We're on the brink where we should be getting snow here pretty quick. So for a lot of people, that would not be the ideal time to be out camping, but not us. So we're planning to be out for a couple of nights. We're not going to be leaving the fridge plugged in. It's gonna be cold enough tonight, and we've got a lot of cold items inside of it anyway, so that'll help to keep it nice and cool. We did have it plugged in while we were driving and bombing around. Actually, on that note, thank you, self, for reminding myself to unplug that. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of different things in here. I know Rita hard-boiled some eggs, and we've got some meat in there as well too. Just a whole mix of stuff in there, some veggies and salad stuff. And then of course we've got that soup in that thermos. But I am gonna jump in the back with Rita because it's that wind has a bite to it and it's getting chilly. It was so nice earlier today, and it just got chilly.
Here, let me get the light.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
I pulled the curtains down a little bit so we got a bit more light coming in.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking forward to getting out and starting a fire, but I mean, if it just stays cold, I'd still be okay with starting a fire, but if it starts to rain, that's not going to be a good time.
The wind is also pretty vicious. Like, this is just a fire ring of stones that wouldn't block the flame from the wind enough. But yeah. I got some glow sticks.
Glow sticks. Okay. Rita's got her window cracked open for some fresh air. I love how much this rig just mitigates the cold, mitigates the wind, muffles some of the outside noise. Nice and comfy back here. I don't even have a blanket over me or a coat on, and I'm already nice and warm back here. I love it. I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans, and Rita's dressed a little. Rita looks a lot more prepared than I do.
I'm just not a human furnace like Dustin, so sweater, hat, I have some wool socks ready to go, I've got the blanket, and we have hot soup.
What kind of soup is that?
Okay, so I would have loved to have prepared this on camera, but I made it at home to save some time. So I sauteed chicken and garlic, and then threw in some canned mushroom pieces, vegetable broth from concentrate that I then diluted with some extra water and the water from the mushrooms, and some mixed vegetables, but I hand-picked every single kernel of corn out of it for a certain someone.
My diabetes thanks you.
All right, let's see if it's still pretty warm. Can you hold the top?
Yeah, I want to see how. When you packed this morning, right?
Yeah, I honestly I cooked it way ahead of time, and then I reheated it and threw it in here.
Okay.
Well, I got steam on my glasses a little bit, so I'd say it's still pretty warm.
That is still nice and hot.
Oh yeah?
That's really good.
Yeah, I know there's no rice in it or pasta, but I wanted to make sure it still was like good and hearty soup.
That's great, babe.
Not too spicy?
No, and like it's hot, but it's not like I was like, you know, tipping the thermos cautiously, like I didn't want it like running down my shirt or you know, touching my lips or my tongue and me going, oh, that's scalding hot. But no, it's like just right.
Perfect.
Here, you have some.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still pretty hot, eh, babe?
Yeah, but not scalding. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
It's just dark and I can't tell where the soup is, so I don't want to dump it on my face, you know?
Yeah, that was what I was saying before too. It that's perfect for this kind of weather because it's winter's definitely on our doorstep. I was not expecting like that abandoned truck stop or whatever it is, that abandoned like gravel overgrown road, and then there's like this nice paved square road. It looks like there's a road that continues on over that way. I was not expecting this nice flat paved road at the end here.
It certainly works for us. I mean, we don't need to worry about if we're level or not, and if it rains, we're on a piece of pavement. Like,
yeah,
it's a shame we can't have a fire, but we can mark this on our map and we can try again in the future.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the weather plays out. It's not looking good right now, but we'll see. Honestly, even if the weather doesn't improve, I'm okay with just sitting back here. We get to listen to the sound of the wind and enjoy the fresh air coming through the window and just hang out and relax. The wind has died down a little bit, probably not for long. So I just want to take a quick little walk down this way because I see we've got this road down here and I'm curious to just get a glance down this road. Any true adventurer has to know where that road goes. Looks like it just loops around back. And I see what looks like an oil pipeline sign over there. They're usually like little white signs. And it looks like they've got a concrete barricade down there too. Someone's definitely done some slob shooting at the extremely icy conditions sign that was just trying to be helpful and not a victim. Could potentially drive down here, but then that would stop you from doing so. People probably tried to go quadding down there too. Cool, we might have to take a rip down this road in the morning. I gotta say, it's really great being out camping again, making content again. And thank you to our lovely viewers yourselves for being patient on that. I feeling a lot better these days. For those of you who watched our last video, I mentioned I had to take a couple of months off just due to some health issues and such. Now that some more strict changes have been made, I'm feeling a lot more like myself, a lot more alert, and just feeling alive. when something's really wrong, you know, it kind of just takes your passion away. All the things that bring you joy, nothing really matters. So it's good to actually feel like myself again. Super thankful. I'm also getting super cold too, so back to the rig we go.
Can we just leave the back open for a little bit longer? It's not like it's too cold out.
As long as I get bundled up in a blanket, oh, I'm good with whatever.
There we go.
There we go. Nice and cozy here.
Do you want wool socks?
No, I'm good. My feet feel good. Just mostly my hands. Gonna have to start wearing gloves again here pretty quick.
Well, shoot, I do have gloves, but they're my size. They wouldn't fit ya.
Yeah, that's okay. This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets too cold, we can always just close the back.
Of course, it's not like we're gonna sleep with it open.
Yeah, I can think of a multitude of reasons why that wouldn't be a good idea.
You still thought about it though, didn't you?
Sometimes in the summer I've thought about it. There's people I've watched like way down south, like California, where it gets really hot, and they'll like put mosquito netting at the back and leave the back open just so they can actually sleep and not like overheat and die.
I think by that point you may as well just go with tent camping instead.
We had to shut the back. The wind picked up and it started rocking pretty good, so don't want to risk that getting damaged or getting ripped right off. I think we might be treated to some rain tonight after all.
Well, sound of the wind, sound of the rain, that'll be nice. And besides, we don't have to worry about sinking overnight. We're on pavement.
Yes.
Abandoned pavement.
Yes, very abandoned pavement. I would camp that, among many other things. And it got real dark. Well, the wind has died down quite a bit. It's still on and off. It's about 5 degrees Celsius outside right now, which is a lot warmer than I was expecting it to be. I think it's supposed to dip down to about 0 degrees Celsius, about freezing in the morning. Could be getting some snow in the morning too, so we'll have to be careful, see how the roads are tomorrow. But really want to get out and do some more bombing around. I really want to explore more around this area that we're in as well too. Like I said earlier, I thought we were going to get freezing rain, and there was freezing rain, but I think we literally just like got nicked by it. Like I think it passed right by us. We got, you know, some raindrops for maybe 5 minutes and then it was gone. So I think we just kind of lucked out there. Dinner was, Rita was kind enough to prepare a whole bunch of hard-boiled eggs for us. So had some hard-boiled eggs, just kept it super simple. Chilly outside. Anything you want to say before we go to bed, Rita?
I didn't have any hard-boiled eggs. I had a lot of soup. I'm good. I'm just really grateful that we are on like as level ground as you can ever find out here. There's no tall grass, no bugs this time of the year. There was somebody that had stopped earlier in the day over by the start of the abandoned road, but there is nobody else out here. It's just us and the sound of the wind. It's gonna be a good night.
We'll see you all in the morning, folks. Good night.